Come down. Ooh, you make my high come down. Always tripping when you come around. Never have to cut you out like right now. You see, I don't have to drive me. You can say that for your mama. Maybe you should smoke some. Me try the marijuana. I was never you good. The vibe was straight. Showed you a couple of things and they feeling strange. I treated you right. Everything was a gift from a time to your bag and the color on your lip.
Welcome to a special edition of Seahawks Man to Man, a YouTube exclusive. My name is Michael-Shawn. You guys can follow me on whatever Elon Musk is calling that app these days. My @ name has not changed. It's also right under my face. It's the same thing on Blue Sky as well. While you're here, make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hitting those two buttons means the world to us. Thank you in advance. Chris, go ahead and talk to him.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Christopher Kid. You can follow me on Blue Sky and on Twitter at CKIDD206, and that's CKid206. And shout out to y'all, because y'all keep subscribing. So we appreciate it. We are now at 4,100 subscribers, so nice. On the way to 5K. So you know what? It's early, but, before the start of the new season, which would be what? I don't know. Is that May or something when it's the official announcement of the 2025 season? Whenever that is, let's try to get to 5K. So let's
get to 5K by the playoffs, man. Let's just shoot for the stars. Let's do it.
Well, Mike wants to shoot for the stars to infinity and beyond.
Yeah, here we go. Let's do it. Is the bookcase a new addition to your background?
You know what? I screwed up. That's a little too. No, it's not. It's been there forever. I just didn't move my setup far enough to the left this time.
I like it though. I like the bookcase edition mixed with the jerseys. It's good.
Yes, during the summer I read a lot.
There you go. That's good. I try to, but I don't. So yeah, there you go. I like it. All right. This is our YouTube exclusive edition of Seahawks Man to Man. We break down the film of the Seahawks' most recent game. This is our first time we broke the streak, right? This is the first time
4 weeks
in a while that this is not good. Film. It's not good. Well, actually, do you have any good plays? I know you. No.
What?
Oh yeah, no, they were all bad. You sent me.
They were all bad.
Right.
It was just, I'll go ahead and go first. So yeah, all the plays are bad, but it's bad because of the outcome. I thought one play it could have been made, but it wasn't. So again, the result is bad. And 2 are on defense, 1 is on offense. I went everywhere, as you can see, and that kind of threw Mike off because he was like, wait a second, you bouncing all over the place. You're not picking just one side. Because if you guys have noticed, since we brought this to you guys, I think maybe a year and a half ago, we always pick one side of the football that we go with. For me, I was like, I'm going to switch it up this week. And again, I threw Mike a loop. Because I'm sure when he was texting me, he was like, what the hell? All right, well,
it was fine. They lost by 17 at home, and the tape was so bad. There's so much to choose from. So, yeah, both sides of the ball, that's fine. Go with your I'm about to say, go defense first, because I'm going to go offense. So we can still keep kind of a theme there. So what you got on defense for us?
So it works out perfectly. I have 2 on defense, and then I'll end it with offense. And as Mike alluded to, he is on offense. So this works out perfectly. So, yes, I am going defense. And the first play, we're looking at our guy, number 27, at the bottom of your screen, Riq Woolen. He has gotten a lot of criticism in this past game because of the coverage. He gave up a touchdown, pass interference, and on this play, he gives up a deep pass to speedster Christian Watson. Now, the Seahawks come out. It could be a multiple set of defenses here. When you're looking at it right now, you could think they could be in man, they could be in cover 2. Not really a disguise. This is just how they're lining up to play this specific play here. So when the play rolls, you realize, okay, they're in zone defense, and I believe it's quarters. So I'm going to go ahead and roll it for you guys. And for the most part, I like the action that the Packers have. They're sending a guy in motion. The Seahawks really don't bite on it. Obviously, you have players in position if need be to make a play in the flat, but they realize, okay, this is definitely a deep shot here. And the deep shot is on Riq's side. And as you can see, a really good ball from Jordan, but Riq is also in position. Like right now, this is textbook. If you're looking at the bottom of your screen, Riq is doing everything you would want your DB to do, your cornerback to do in a scenario when you're playing zone. It's basically cover match here. So you're one-on-one with this guy. You're not leaving your zone and giving up area. You're playing deep, and you're covering this guy going deep. That is your assignment. It's mano-a-mano, one-on-one situation when you're one-on-ones. The safety, Julian Love, is supposed to help on this. But if you guys are looking at Jordan Love right now, he's doing a really good job of looking at the entire field. And that freezes the safeties, because right now you got two safeties deep. You have Kobe on the other side of the field, and you got Julian, who is the closest to us on this side of the field, on near the numbers, I'll say. And Jordan does a really good job of just freezing the defense. So as you can see, he's looking straight ahead. And look at Julian. He is like, okay, I have action. There's no threat. But as you can see right now, there is just a little bit of separation at the bottom of the screen on Riq, just a little. But even then, Riq is able to make up for it. So we're going to continue to roll it. Riq is able to get his hand on him, which is perfect. You want to get your hand on him, and he starts the transition of looking for the football. A good DB is able to fill out where his receiver is, where the opponent is, and then have the ability and awareness to track the football that's on the way to the player trying to make the catch. Riq is doing a fabulous job here. He is perfect. Safety, oh shoot. Love, he's like, damn. He got me with the eyes there. And that's just great quarterback play. That's what you want. You want to be able to move the safeties with your eyes. He holds the safety to the center of the field. There's no action there. The nearest guy, I believe, is a tight end coming across the field, but the linebacker can pick that up there. If you look at the center of the field, there's a receiver coming across or a tight end coming across the field. I'm sure Tariq Knight is able to make that play, and even Love would be able to make that play. But again, great eyes by Jordan Love here, and he delivers a strike. And then Riq is in sole position. And then I think honestly, he turns too soon. He eliminates his ability to make a play on the ball because he turns right now. He is already looking to make a play on the football, and he's already maybe a step behind. If he continues running, this is 9 times out of 10 a pass breakup. He's able to knock the ball away. But because he turns way too early to try to make a play on the football, it allows for Christian to go up and make an incredible play for a huge first down and explosive. Now, I also texted Mike during the game, and I said, hey, Mike, did this appear to be a pass interference? And right now, you can kind of see it. There's hands on the back of Woolen. Now, when you're running 85, 90% speed, full speed down the sideline, and someone just touches you in the back or pushes you, it can make a huge difference. I honestly cannot tell if this was enough to warrant a offensive pass interference, let alone get Riq out of position. I still think Riq is capable of making this play, and I've seen him throughout the season throw his hands up and gesture to the ref, hey, man, he's pushing me. It's a push off. I'm not too sure of it here. I do think that he did just turn a little too early. I thought he could have waited another half second or so and then try to make a play on the football. But as you can see, he's already out of position just a little bit. And just that little bit takes him out of the play. And again, allows for Christian Watson to backpedal, and then make a really good grab. Because I thought Riq did a really solid job. It's not terrible coverage. It's actually, again, really good. We'll play it again. Hand to the hip, sees it, throws his head around, and then just doesn't locate the ball fast enough, and that ends up being a huge explosive. So that was the first one that wasn't so good. And yeah, not the end of the day. Not the end of the day. Not a terrible play by Woolen. And I know a lot of Seahawks fans, 12, they were not pleased with his performance. So this next one is really going to sting, just because it's pretty bad from the jump. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'll give credit to wide receiver Romeo Dobbs on the release. A really good release. But you also have to know the scenario and situation here. So with this play, it is, I want to say, it's 3rd and 2 with 10 seconds in the half. So there's only a couple of things that's going to happen here, right? You're either going to get a guy to the sideline. I don't know how many timeouts the Green Bay Packers have, so that would also play a factor into this. I believe the Packers have maybe 1 timeout, but let's just, in theory, say they have no timeouts, right? What does that mean? That means it's either going to be a shot to the end zone or you're going to try to get someone out of bounds. But I will say, I think they had 1 timeout. So if they do catch it inbounds for a big play, they can call a timeout and still get a chance to kick a field goal. So the Seahawks are their nickel package here. So that's 5 DBs, 2 linebackers. And in this scenario, the Packers come out in 13 personnel, tight end, and 3 wide receivers with the running back. So again, we're looking at the top of the screen. It's going to be manned up, and I'll give you the reason why it's manned up.
They had 1 timeout, by the way.
They had 1 timeout. Thank you, Mike. So it makes even more sense now. You have a chance to take a shot downfield because you have that one timeout and you were able to say, hey, if we can take a shot, catch it in bounds, we get a chance to either kick a field goal. Maybe there's 3 seconds. You want to take a shot at the end zone. You really have that opportunity to do either or. So it's man because if we watch it, I'll restart it real quick. You'll see that Jordan brings a guy in motion. Now, when you see a lot of motion in the NFL, it gives the quarterback a signal of what defense they're in. If nobody follows, okay, you're looking at a zone type defense. Sometimes it could be zone match, meaning a guy will follow, but now he has a responsibility to cover a certain area. But in this specific scenario, Jordan realized, okay, I have a man-to-man look. I'm pretty confident in that. Just looking at the alignment, you can see where guys are. Every defender is looking at the person in front of them. So you look at the bottom of the screen, I believe that's Josh Jobe. He's looking dead at the receiver there, Christian Watson. You have Devin, who's playing off-man coverage on number 13. And then you have safety, Kobe Bryant, who is playing off coverage on not Luke Musgrave. That's actually Kraft, tight end Kraft. And then at the top of your screen, who we really want to focus in on is Woolen versus Romeo Dobbs. And I mentioned the release is nasty. So we go ahead and roll it. Just watch the release. Okay. So issue number 1, unfortunately, Riq is toast off the line of scrimmage. As you can see, he's given up about a yard or two already, and the play is developing. Thank goodness for Nwosu because he is able to get pressure on Jordan, and he's able to he's making the throw a little bit more of a challenge. Jordan doesn't step up in the pocket and deliver a strike. Jordan actually tries to fade away and throw it, which is an underthrown pass. And with that being said, the ball is underthrown, and that puts Riq in a chase position. And Riq doesn't realize that because he's in panic mode. He's beat. When you get beat like that, your instinct is to, oh, shoot, I got to do anything I can to make sure this guy doesn't catch the football, but I can't interfere. And in this scenario, he's chasing. This is a touchdown if Jordan is able to loft it out there, but he doesn't step into it because of the pressure from Nwosu off the edge. So shout out to Nwosu. I mean, he saved the touchdown here with the pressure because, as I mentioned, off the line of scrimmage, Riq is cooked. It's unfortunate. He is barbecued, and there's not much he can do, but he does recover well because it's underthrown. But when he recovers, he also just tackles Dobbs, and you can't do that. You got to stay. I know it's very hard for me to say, hey, you got cooked off the line of scrimmage. You're in chase mode, but now you can't just grab and hold. You got to be able to locate the football, which is very tough to do when you're chasing. But I want to pause at the top of it. So right here, now is where if you see the receiver slowing down, you got to try to get on the outside of him and turn your head and try to make a play on the football. I know it's damn near impossible just because of the situation he's in. He's chasing. He's already beat. But it's just a really bad play, and it's just unfortunate. It does end up in a field goal, so I guess that's the positive on this scenario because it should have been a touchdown, but an underthrown pass here, and Riq got lucky. And it's just one of those things you got to learn with experience. Again, as I mentioned, there wasn't much time left. So the inside release, that's cool. Give him that inside release. You have safety help. If he wants to go run a post pattern, you have help from the safety to help you on that. Your job is that sideline area, and he gives up the inside and is just barbecued. Again, watch the inside release. Beautiful release. No, I want to give credit to Romeo. That's perfect. That's what you want. Sells the inside release, and Riq is just on the outside looking in, and an underthrown ball results in a tackled you, and unfortunately a pass interference. So, and you see the head drop there. That's a confidence thing. I think in these certain scenarios, I know Mike McDonald talked about Riq's focus in certain scenarios. He was already beaten earlier in the game. So you just can't beat yourself up in this scenario. You got to be able to just take it on the chin and be better and learn from it. And actually later on in the game, he does make a really solid play and is able to stop the defense on a deep route. I think it's 3rd and 2. They're looking for Christian Watson, and he is beat off the line of scrimmage again, but he recovers well and is able to get a pass defense. He knocks the play away. It doesn't really matter because the Seahawks are down 30-13, but that just goes to show when he's locked in, he can be a problem. So those are the 2 standout plays on defense where the first one, okay, it could have been offensive pass interference. Riq was in good position to make the play. He just, again, I think he turned a little too early. And Watson, who has the height, he made a great play and a really great throw from Jordan Love. And the second play, he just got beat off the line of scrimmage. Not much you can do there other than try to turn your head and make a play on it, and he doesn't, unfortunately, and that resulted in a pass interference, giving them basically 1st and goal from the 3, and they kicked the field goal. So it didn't end up in a touchdown, but shout out to Uchenna Nwosu for putting pressure on the quarterback. And my last one, this comes from the offense. As I mentioned earlier, I want to touch on 2 defensive plays and 1 offensive. This one is actually after Geno goes down with an injury, and this is a screen pass to JSN. But when I was watching the film, I was like, wait a second, something don't seem right. And I think you guys might be able to catch it. So I'm going to just roll through it once. And I'm curious if you guys, when you're watching it, notice, okay, this didn't work because of what? I got you. It didn't work because, for one, just look at what's happening right now. All right. You can see that Jake Bobo is basically closing off the inside. All right. I'm going to roll it a little bit longer. Look at where DK is at the top and at the bottom of your screen at the 20-yard line. At the numbers, I should say, at the 20. He is getting ready to basically shut off the inside. And then you got 2 fat guys coming from the offensive line. They're indicating what? That the screen is going towards the middle of the field. JSN, unfortunately, he is trying to go outside, and that's where the defenders are. So we're going to roll it again and just watch how it's set up. Got the fat man rolling. If JSN attacks the screen, meaning attacks the football, goes back to it, he might end up getting a 1st down, dare I say a touchdown. Because it's blocked up the way you'd want it. He just goes the wrong way. And it's a win for Sam Howell. This is his first play of the game. Geno just went down with an injury. You want to throw up something easy for your quarterback to complete, which he does, but JSN just ran the wrong way. I don't know if he didn't know the play. Whatever the case may be, he goes the wrong way. It's set up for him to go inside and get up the field. Dare I say almost a tunnel screen. Not entirely. A little set up differently, but they want him to get upfield. So you got Jake Bobo, one of your best blockers on the team. DK Metcalf, another great blocker. And then, as I mentioned, you're bringing the fat guys along to move some dudes around, and it opens up the middle of the field. So we're going to roll it again, and you can watch, JSN just reads it all wrong, just goes the opposite way. That's not the way the play was drawn up, and unfortunately, it goes for -2. So not only did you give Sam a softball, the softball went backwards for 2 yards, so now you're 2nd and 12. You're already behind the sticks, and now you're wanting Sam to move the ball upfield. So you just got to make sure in those scenarios that you're locked in. You know what you got to do. Again, if JSN attacks this football, goes back to the center of the field, we're looking at minimum a 1st down. And if JSN can create yards after catch, which he does lead the team in yards after catch, we're looking at potentially a touchdown. And that's huge for this team that at this point haven't scored a touchdown. They got into the red zone and didn't do nothing with it. So just an unfortunate play here by the offense, by JSN, just not reading it right. So correct those mistakes, changes the entire game. So those are my standout plays from the Seahawks loss against the Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football. Mike, take it away with your offensive standout plays, or should we say the negative standout plays?
Well, just plays that stood out. It's just probably the way that phrased it. We just can't change the title of the show to that because it has no ring to it. But yeah, I'm gonna look at the offense. I'm actually gonna look at all the 3rd downs, not all of them, but pretty much all the 3rd downs that Geno was in on where they threw the ball, because it was really unfortunate from the Seahawks perspective. They really only had one 3rd and 1,000,000, and it was, I think, 3rd and 19 or something like that. So they actually got what they're kind of aspiring for. They got a 3rd and 2, a 3rd and 3, a 3rd and 4. They got another 3rd and 2 where Zach ran it. They had multiple 3rd and 4s, I think. So they got the situations where they're good, and then they weren't good. So I'm going to show why, kind of what happened there that went wrong. Let's start with, let me go dual screen really here so I can be a little bit more efficient with this. Oh, actually, I don't need to. This is 3rd and 4, and this is their first 3rd down of the game. So they look like they're showing some pressure. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys. The Seahawks looks like they can go mano-a-mano with the pressure. They got their 5 linemen and Zach Charbonnet in there if they do that. Yeah, this is the first 3rd down in the game, so you're trying to fill it out. You could also get nickel pressure there at the top of the screen from Keyshawn Nixon, who's right there next to JSN. Probably not a good idea in this instance if you're Green Bay, just because Geno has shown that if you're trying to be hot off JSN, he'll probably throw it. Same thing here off the bottom of the screen in the slot is Noah. Like if that guy comes, you just leave Noah wide open, probably a bad idea if you're Green Bay. It'll be stupid by their coordinator. And as we run it, they don't do that. They drop out. You can kind of see how they changed the picture. It's actually really good disguised by them. They end up sending only 4 guys. Is that 4? Yeah, they end up sending only 4 guys. So the math works out in Seattle's favor. Zach stays in to help. So you got 4 rushers versus 6 blockers. Cool. +2. Grubb loves being plus in the pass protection, particularly, +2. Yeah, that means, all right, we should really have time, right? So you're looking at Noah. A little out route, not there because of the coverage. Good job by 24. 24 also sinks to the corner route there. So he basically just took away half the damn play. Cool. That's fine. That happens. They get paid too. But if you're the Seahawks and you're designing this, you're like, that's fine because we're +2 in coverage, meaning we have 2 more guys blocking than they have. Excuse me, we're +2 in protection. We have 2 more guys coming or 2 more guys blocking than they have coming, right? All right. So we should be able to progress to look at the top of the screen. If Geno has time, DK on the dig. It's going to be there. Like, let's just all close our eyes. Don't close our eyes because it's YouTube. But imagine Geno has time to hit DK there. And it's going to be there too, I would imagine, because the guy who drops into that zone to take it away, right there, right above the Seahawks logo, I think that's number 55. That is, that's one of their pass rushers. So it's not a traditional inside linebacker. So you figure you can fit a ball, by him if you need to, right? So why can't he do that, Mike? Great question, listener. All right, let's go to the end zone angle. This is a disgrace. Disgrace is too strong, but it was just disappointing. So again, we got our 6. I hate where the freaking goalpost is in this angle, but it's the best angle. So you can see they drop out on the right side, bring in 3 on the left. You got the linebacker kind of running like a pick play, essentially, for his lineman. Good job by Zach, and then Olu looking for work to pick it up. So, again, if you're Grubb and you're designing this, you're like, all right, cool. We straight. All right, Geno's going to have time. We're going to pick up the little pick from the guys up front. No. In this case, Lakin ends up blocking nobody. And Geno is toast on what should have been an easy 3rd and 4. Like, even if they blocked it up, let's roll back. So you got the pick play, right? So if this is blocked up, which it should be, if I keep calling it a pick, twist stunt, whatever. So it essentially works like a pick though, right? Because they're trying to get, some pressure up the middle. All right, cool. If this is blocked up, you can just imagine, like watch the top of the screen late here. Like DK would have been there. 55's not, that's just too big a window. And that would have been a huge play. And it's a sack. And it's like one of those deflating plays in the heat of the game too, because the Packers had just went down and scored. So you want to try to match that, particularly at the crib, night game, all that stuff. Cool. They don't. Geno gets sacked. Down he goes. That sucks. All right. 3rd and 2 in the second quarter. This was crazy. Their next 3rd down was in the second quarter. That's how long Green Bay had the ball. They were cooking. All right. So anyway, we get a coverage indicator with a little motion. Grubb's good at that for helping his guys out. We got our big 3 personnel. Geno, Tyler, DK, Noah, All right. This looks like a more traditional 4-man rush based on the front. Again, we could get some nickel pressure here from the top of the screen, but their D coordinator is not an idiot. You nickel pressure off Tyler there. It's probably an easy 1st down because, again, this is 3rd and 2. Should you be running it here? Maybe, but it's fine. 3rd and 2, you got the whole playbook open. You can run it. You can take a deep shot, because if you don't get it, you maybe go for it on 4th and 2. You're in field goal range. Like, this is great, right? Just don't take a sack. Generally, is what you want to do right here from the 25, wherever they're at. All right. So this is an instance where they're probably trying to get the ball to DK. So watch DK and Tyler at the top of the screen. DK gets unfortunately tripped up on Tyler's guy. Geno has to work off of that. He doesn't have time to, and he ends up taking a sack. All right, so let's roll back. Let's start with DK. They only do bring 4, by the way. So we'll start with DK. You see Geno's looking up there. He quickly sees that DK trips and comes off that. That's, good by Geno. If he'd have held it there and be like, oh, man, DK tripped, well, you got to come off that. You got to see that. You're the quarterback. Cool by Geno. Good footwork, good presence, smart dude, right? Let's all watch together as a family, the bottom of the screen here, and try to view it from Geno's perspective. Let's watch the routes on the bottom of the screen. This is Noah and I think that's Noah. Yeah, it's Noah and Jax. boy, ain't nowhere to go with that ball, unfortunately. There really isn't. This was really disappointing. Like, if you're Geno, all right, DK trips, we're kind of cooked. You could force that ball to Jax, but like that's not a great idea. Is you nowhere to really go on the Noah out route. But ultimately, that doesn't matter either because again, he's toast up front. So here's the end zone view, 4-man rush. Uh, Zach ends up leaving. So you got four come in, 5 blocking. We're +1. There goes the numbers again. We're plus. This should be able to hold up. You see Geno's eyes off the snap. He's like, all right, let me look at DK and Tyler. Oh, that's not there. Let me move off that. Great. All right. Pocket's good for now. He's waiting. Now remember, we looked at the routes over there. So we kind of know what Geno's seeing, and it's not looking great. This would be an instance, ideally, where he could step up. Because remember, this is 3rd and 2. He can't step up. Why? Because it's this big ass dude in his face that went right by his right guard. Tries to step up, tries to spin out of it, and then Abe's guy looks like Rashawn Gary just gets him. Just a disappointing on a 3rd and like really manageable. This is what you want. 3rd and 2. We're good. And we can't, it just falls apart, you know, and it falls apart, not just on the protection, but yeah, as you can see, when I show those routes, let's look at those one more time. Like, there really just wasn't anything. Maybe they're just not expecting it because this is a design for DK and Tyler's side of the field, but it just wasn't great, you know. I'm looking back at this like, man, even if Geno wanted to go to that backside, you know, it just wasn't there. And then obviously the end zone, not great. The end zone angle shows just not great up front. His right side just, yeah, that's an adventure. And he's toast. It really sucks when they're like 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 9s and stuff. I feel the complaints and the frustration and the idea that like we got to be better on early downs, so we're not in 3rd and a million. They're 100% right. But when you get these 3rd and shorts and 3rd and mediums, you got to have better execution. You know. So there's an example of a 3rd and 4. I think this is in the 2nd quarter as well. It looks like we get another coverage indicator. Good for Grubb. He's always putting those in there, which is great. Those just little subtle movements help out so much. Just how they respond, you know, yada, yada. So we look like we could be getting 5 here. Potentially that nickel on top of Jackson could rush, but once again, that would probably be stupid by their coordinator because this was 3rd and 4. Like this, that would be an easy just throw it. Even if you're dropping out your end to Jackson's side, then he catches the ball and all Packers fans are tweeting, why do we got our edge rusher covering Jackson Smith and Jigba? You know, you guys have tweeted that. You've seen Benson Mayoa covering running backs. You've seen Carlos Dunlap covering Robert Woods. So you know how stupid that looks sometimes in real time. Anyway, so it looks like they could be sending 5, but we're good if they do because we got Zach back there. So Zach is our 6th dude in protection. We'd be +1 if they do that. Then if they blitz the inside backer who's alone, the 6-on-6, but the middle of the field's wide open, another dangerous proposition, right? So probably not doing that. You see Jalen Sundell calling out. They might have an extra guy. So they do blitz that dude. And they do drop out the end. He ends up on Noah instead, though, which is a loss for them. It ends up, let's watch the top of the screen here. Actually, like this. This is one of those instances where the nickel probably does the right thing. We'll get the little reroute on Jackson, but it leaves Bobo wide open. And they dropped a guy who's probably not used to dropping into the middle. And he's wide open. Great. But let's show the end zone view to show the difference. Like, think of those protection issues I showed in the first 2 plays. And now look at the protection he gets here, right? So you got number 53. What is he? Edge guy. Yeah, Aaron Mosby. That looks like a fake name. Anyway, we got Aaron basically being our middle linebacker. He's not used to that, right? So even if Geno wanted to, like, look at this. Oh my God, Chris, look how beautiful this is right here. Look at this. Look at his protection. We got the double team on the backer. Abe's good. Charles is doing what, you know, stud left tackles are supposed to do. So even if Geno didn't have Jake here, which he obviously does, and we showed, if he wanted to then switch and try to hit Noah on the shallow here, that's what's in the middle of the screen. Because again, they dropped out a guy who's probably not used to dropping out. Like, we're good. And he has all the time in the world. Like, I love this is how it should look on 3rd and medium for real. Let's go back to the start of this. So, and then I just want to show DK here on the bottom of the screen why he's not getting involved, because like we showed in our standout plays last week, there's a lot of times where they're putting DK ISO'd by himself to kind of dictate the coverage here. So when you have DK here by himself on the far side of the field, I guess that's the short side of the field, but you got him matched up with Eric Stokes, but then watch Xavier McKinney on the hash, their star safety, like look where he goes. You can't even, you got to ignore DK here. It's unfortunate, But this is an example of, all right, cool. If they're going to dedicate their good players to DK, let's go to the other side of the field. But you need the protection. Look at this. I'm the closest person to Geno right now. There's no Packer near him. It's just, I would have to get the sack on this because that's how many people are just not near Geno who are in Packers uniforms. And just easy pitch and catch to Jake Bobo. Hashtag more Bobo. But that's what it should look like when you get the third and mediums. And it just didn't throughout the game. Chris talked about this on our one big thing, how they just didn't finish drives. And I'm showing you, so I'm kind of putting video to that. It was just nasty business. This is 3rd and 3. Same drive, I believe. Yes, it's the same drive. Second quarter. Another coverage little indicator. You get Jackson. Let me just pause it right before that. So I'm highlighting when Grubb's doing that. Good for him that he gets Jackson or someone moving just so that you see, like, all right, let's get a picture of how they might react to that. It looks like we could be getting 5 guys on the line coming. But again, we're good if they do because we got Zach back there. So if they bring 5, we got 6. We're +1. These numbers are important because this is how Grubb, he's talked about this before. He really likes being plus. I mean, no one likes being negative, I guess. But sometimes they do just bring more guys than you got, and you trust your quarterback to make the right reads. You know, he did that a lot with Penix in Washington. Like, if they did bring more, Penix was really good at getting the ball out. Cool, right? So we got our big 3 again, and Noah in terms of personnel. And in this play, let's look at the top of the drop. All right, Geno takes his attention. Well, first off, they end up dropping 8. So we should have all the time in the world. Now, even with Zach leaving, as he's doing, Zach Charbonnet, we're +3. No, excuse me. I'm doing math on the show. We're +2. We got 5 linemen. They got 3 rushers. We should win. We should have all the time in the world. So looking at another out route from Noah. That must have been just the play calls of the day there. It's like, all right, Noah, run all the out routes you want. Anyway, so he looks at that. Not there. DK at the top of the screen. I mean, I guess he could throw that to Noah. I don't know. Chris, would you throw that? You throw that to Noah? I was thinking about that. Including,
Yes,
I'm not sure.
I would. I
Yeah,
would throw it
you
to
would?
Noah. He's big body. It would have to be an incredible play from is that the nickelback or the corner? Whoever
That's
it
a
is,
corner.
he's going to have to make a really, really incredible play. You throw it outside to the sideline, Noah should be able to make that play, and then he's bigger, so, you know, it's a tackle at best. I don't know if he can make an interception on that play unless he's Darrell Reeves or something, so I'm throwing the football.
That's, I was torn on it, but I think I'm with you. But him not throwing it is not the end of the world to me, because it's 3rd and 3. You got time to look at other options. So look at DK at the top of the screen. Looks like you run like a post or something like that. That's just not there. Like, the Packers were very dedicated to making sure DK didn't kill them. The Seahawks needed to do a much better job. Grubb talked about that this week. He was so pissed after the game. Like, he talked to DK the next day, and but I'm sure he probably apologized or just like let him know, like, I got to be better at getting you the ball. And I see what he's saying. I talked about that in one big thing. I think on a post-game show, I was just like, they were too content in this game letting the Packers dictate where the ball goes. Sometimes you just got to feed your dudes, and they did not do that. This is an example of the Packers kind of dedicating their resources to making sure that didn't happen. But it's cool. We're plus in the protection, so Geno has time, steps up, was able to go through at least like 3 reads on this, which is great. So we get the coverage indicator, which is great. Nice little jog from Jax. All right, look, Geno, boom. I got Noah. I don't like it. I got DK. I don't like it. All right, what about my check down to Zach? Looking at it right here. We're going to let number 96 get his good little PFF coverage grade here, whatever he wants. All right, we're taking off. Great, cool. But look at the protection difference, though. Look at that. I'm here. Look at that. No one near my feet. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. It can reset. This is what it's supposed to look like. I mean, it's a lot easier with a 3-man rush, but I want you guys to see these differences. All right. Last one. This is 3rd and 9 from the 12. This is the interception. Geno did talk about this play. Geno mentioned he was asked about it on Thursday. He liked his process. He said they had man coverage for everyone except DK, who was doubled. He saw Noah win on the route, gave him what he described as a catchable ball, just credited the cornerback Carrington Valentine for making a great play. All right, let's look at it. So his idea that we might get some pressure. He is correct. And this, they rushed, I think, 5. Well, I think they sent 6. I mean, they sent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they sent, I don't want to do the math. Anyway, he gets pressure in his face. So DK it may look like DK's not double, but Geno's right. Like you look at the safety, I think that's McKinney again. And yeah, this is a 6-man rush. So now we're 6-on-6, we're even. So now we're 0. That like 0 as in like remember we were +1, +2. I was mentioning those numbers. Now we're even. So the ball does got to come out quicker, right? DK is essentially doubled because if Geno flips his hips to look over there, the safety's just gonna fly over there. Fly over there. He is, right? So Geno wisely is like, you know what? I see Noah one-on-one with the safety whose name I think it's the Evan Williams brother, named after some alcohol. I don't know nothing about him, but I would trust Noah too. Cool. So lets it fly. Lets it fly. Cornerback does make a great play. And let's freeze it and let's see what Geno sees, right? So Geno sees DK doubled. He sees cover 0 basically to the far side of the field. That's right. Good read. Now, right here, let's freeze it right here. Geno is thinking, I'm sure, man, if Noah gets to the NFL logo and I put the ball there, that is 6. At this moment in time, he is 1,000% correct. Like, because Carrington is locked up on Tyler. He has no idea where the ball is. At this moment in time, he's correct. But this is not when the ball come out. Wait. Now the ball's out. Now let's look at Carrington against Lockett again at the top of the screen. Now he sees the ball. And this is a far throw with 2 cats in Geno's face. Like, this is a fadeaway. And that's why, because the ball does go to the logo. It goes exactly where you would think that he wouldn't put that. And it's taken away. And here's why. Chris, can you throw the Niners play in there for me and take those out? Because I saw some criticisms of the play design this week. And Geno is right about his process. Like, the idea of that makes sense because they've run plays like that before, right? This is week 6 against the Niners. I can't remember what time and whatever it is, but this is week 6, a Thursday night game, right? So watch the top of the screen. We're getting Jackson and DK running a very similar version of what they just ran, except this is against like zone coverage. But it's the same idea. Look at that. Same idea where if I put this towards the logo and the cornerback stays on DK, this is 6, right? Same idea. But instead, his feet are set, and he's able to put it like if it's one of those, if my guy doesn't catch it, no one catches it type of situations. But look at the difference in having no pressure. Like, he's able to do that. There's no one in his face. He can make the right call. He puts it where if Jackson makes a toe tapping joint, a catch, that's great, right? And it ends up being out of bounds. Jackson actually catches that ball, by the way. Like, Jackson got good hands, man. He goes up there and attacks the ball, except on the screen pass Chris showed. All right. And so you can see that the spacing and stuff is all fine. You just got to be able to read the corner and make the throw accordingly. And it's much easier to do when you have the space, or when you have the space around your feet. There's no pressure. That's not a fadeaway. And last one, Chris, thank you. Show me this is against the Rams they've only played them once. So week 9, right? Same idea, except now we're on the bottom of the screen again to the far side of the field. It's the same idea. Jake runs a little out route like Tyler ran. Jackson wins on his route. Watch Geno though. Look at the feet. Look at this. Look at the pocket. Look at what Geno sees before he lets it rip. It's a very similar to the other play where if the corner was to make that little baseball speed turn that Carrington made, this is probably a pick too, but it's not because Geno has his feet are set and he's not under pressure, so he can throw this on a line to like a logo. Yeah, the Seahawks logo, not the NFL logo. And it ends up tying the game. Right? It's the same idea. So the concept itself is whatever. Everybody runs a version of this. Where you try to hold the corner with something underneath, like takes the cheese underneath, which I don't know why that corner does, and you get it right over his head for a touchdown. It's a great idea, but look at the difference that not throwing a fadeaway, and that's where that was wrong. I thought this is where the interception was bad. Instead of throwing, you can pull that out now, Chris. But instead of throwing with his feet set, it ends up being a fadeaway, and that's where their third downs were just all over the place. It was Geno, it was the protection, it was sometimes I didn't know what type of route situation we had going on. It was just all over the place. And the last one was a 3rd and 9 or whatever. But you could even see how that design could have been just fine. If the protection was there, because that was the one time, and that's why I was telling you guys all those numbers. That was the one time they were 0 men, and they had as many guys blitzing as they had in protection. And you see what the difference was, and you can see why Grubb likes to be plus, because when he's not, it ended up being a turnover. but I think it could have been an avoidable turnover if Geno didn't throw the fade. So it just the third down stuff, when I got done watching, I was like, yo, this was an adventure. Sometimes the protection wasn't there. Sometimes the routes didn't look good. Sometimes guys didn't stay on their feet on the routes. Sometimes Geno didn't make the right call. It was just a cacophony. It's a good word. A cacophony of errors on third down. And that's really what stood out, particularly in their manageable and short yardage situations. That 3rd and 9 on the interception, it's kind of whatever. But when you get 3rd and 4, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, you have to convert those. And we see exactly what it looks like when they need to convert. It's guys running routes cleanly. It's Geno having time. And when Geno has time, he can make any throw. But if he doesn't have time, he's toast back there. And against Minnesota, those numbers are going to matter. Because, Chris, we've watched, I don't know how much Vikings you watch, but you know how the Vikings get down. They send heat.
I actually just went. Sorry, go ahead.
They're like, as you know, they'll put 7 guys on the line and send 3. Then they'll put 7 guys on the line and send 5. Then they'll put 6 guys on the line and send 6. Then they'll put 5 guys on the line and then bring nickel pressure, so they're sending 6. Somebody coming from depth. Like the numbers are going to matter quite a bit. And when the numbers are in their favor, the numbers meaning the number of guys in protection versus the number of guys rushing, when they're +1, +2, they got to connect on those. They can't afford those mistakes like they had against the Packers. See, they lost by 17 at home. You do that again against the Vikings when you're +2, +1, and you're not giving Geno time, they're gonna be toast. My bad, I cut you off, but I think this is gonna be a very big deal against the Vikings.
Yeah, I was actually on YouTube looking at what the Vikings do defensively. There's a couple of film guys breaking it down, so I was checking it out, and it's similar to what the Seahawks do. They rely on a lot of simulated pressures, and as Mike mentioned, have 7 at the line of scrimmage, send 5. Have 6 at the line of scrimmage, send 6. So it's going to be pivotal that Geno and the offensive line are on the same page. Charbonnet's picking up extra guys that are rushing in. That's going to be huge against this defense because that's something that they pride themselves in and trying to confuse the offense. So a fun chess match again, because Mike and I are football nerds. So we'll be probably nerding out during the game. Oh, look at that. They sent 8 people. That's nasty. Or they show 8 and drop and send 3, drop 5 into coverage. So there'll be a lot of chess pieces moving on that board there as the game unfolds. But we thank all of you for tuning in and watching another episode of Seahawks Man to Man. This is the bonus edition where we review some standout plays from the game. And unfortunately, it was negative, not all that good. But they have another opportunity on Sunday against the Minnesota Vikings to right their wrong. So we will come back to you guys for our post-game show on Sunday after the Seahawks-Minnesota Vikings game. Hope you guys have a fun and safe weekend. Mike, is there anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Just thank you guys for all the love and support. Make sure if you haven't to check out our One Big Thing episode and our Seahawks-Vikings preview with Alec Lewis. He does a great job covering the Vikings for The Athletic, so make sure you check that out. That's available on our YouTube channel, and that's available via audio on every platform. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Share everything on our YouTube. When we have Instagram clips, TikTok, Seahawks Man to Man is the name of the handle on both of those platforms. Make sure you show some love on there as well. We really appreciate it. Until then, like Chris said, we'll catch you. Our next show will drop Monday morning. Enjoy your weekend and enjoy the game. Peace.